Come to the next point. Point, that is different forms of power sharing. Now, when I will try to discuss different forms of power sharing, you need to keep in mind about the 4 points. 4 points. Number 1 point: power is shared among the different organs of the government. Then second point: power is shared among the different levels of the government. Third point: power is shared among the different social groups. And the fourth point: power is shared among the different political parties, pressure groups. So these are the 4 forms of power sharing, and one by one I'll try to discuss. Now, in every country, government having the 3 organs: executive, legislative, and judiciary. In India also, we're having the 3 organ of the government: executive, judiciary, and also legislative. Now here, these 3 organs not having the absolute power in our country, especially. Somehow, executive here appointing judicials, and judicial also their power also try to follow the country's constitution also. Now, legislative body making the laws, but without not having the absolute power, they are trying to control each other, and this policy is known as the check and balance. Now, this one, horizontal power sharing. Second point, and that is power shared among the different levels of the government, that we need to think these ways, that somehow in different countries the government also divided. In our country, India, we're having the central government and also state government. Apart from the central and the state government, we are having some municipality areas, that's municipal corporations, and in rural areas, that is panchayat. That is also a third level, local level government. So now this power also shared among the different levels of government. And the next point, power is also shared among the different social groups. In a country where different religious groups and linguistic groups are there, so power also tried shared among them. Now, point over there, coming question, and that is, in some countries, reservation are there. For example, for the women's, for the weaker sections also, some reservations are there. Why? Because to ensure their participation in the government making procedures. So through this way also power is also shared. The last point, and that is power is also shared among the different political parties and the pressure groups. Now, question coming over here, when people choosing them as their leader, but if any party unable to get the majority by the election, then what will happen? That time, that political party will try to form another alliance with another party, and that time, which government actually form, known as the coalition government. So this coalition government actually formed not by single party. Actually, when 2 or more parties togetherly form the government, that government is known as the coalition government. Here, rest parties form the opposition. Now, this opposition actually, they also got some power. When government in the parliament, for example, parliament, one side government, another side oppositions. Power here also shared among these sides and this side also. Now, when this side doing any activity, if they do any wrong things, other side also having power to criticize that one. So here, power also shared, and this kind of opposition party actually act as a pressure groups. Side by side, different powers also given to the media and other organs also, those who try to create the pressure over the governments. So these are the different forms of the power sharing. Now, after discussing all this power sharing, let's recheck of the all points. Recap the all points. First, chapter name is power sharing. We have discussed this chapter by following 3 points. One is case study of Belgium and Sri Lanka. Second point, why power sharing is desirable. And third point, that is different forms of power sharing. In the first point, we have discussed Belgium condition and Sri Lanka condition. Near about same decade, Belgium faced the problem and they had shared their powers, and finally country had developed. Sri Lanka, also had faced the problem, but they didn't share the powers. Where the Tamils felt alienated or deprived, and so they were demanding the autonomy of their province and equal rights. As because Sinhala community are given, so they had faced the civil war. And when a country faced the civil war, indeed, we do not to say this point that yes, that country faced much more problem. The next point we have discussed why power sharing is desirable. That time we had discussed two reasons. One is prudential reason and second one is moral reason. Prudential reason stress upon the power sharing. Why? Because it will bring out better outcomes. Moral reason actually everyone will feel the equal. So these are the reasons. And different forms of power sharing. 4 points we have discussed. Number 1, power sharing among the different organs of the government. Example, executive, then legislative, then judiciary. And these organs cannot not have absolute power. Actually, these organs controlling each other, and this policy is known as the check and balance. Well, the second reason, power is shared among the different levels of the government. Central government, state government, and also the local self-government. So central government having power, state government also having power, and local self-government also having power. But in our country, which government having power in which area is clearly mentioned in our constitution. Third point, power is also shared among the different social groups. For example, if those sections or weaker sections are there, examples women's or also different linguistic based or religious based community are there, those who are weaker, for them also government reserves some policies. Or fourth point, power is shared among the different different pressure groups and different political parties. Actually, by the competition among the different political parties, people choosing their leaders and also the government. Now, which party able to manage the maximum seats in the parliament, they're getting or they're forming the government. But if one single party are unable to form the government, then they try to do the allies with the other political parties. When two or more parties together form the government, that known as the coalition government. And the rest who lost the procedures, actually they forming the opposition parties, and that opposition party also having some powers, and they act as a pressure group over the government. So through these ways, different power is shared among the different political parties, as well as that party is also acting as the pressure groups. Side by side video also was there, and other organization was there. Now, after completing all these things, let's come to the points, and that is, I'm asking some question. You try to give the answer at home. First question, name the capital of Belgium. Then second question, in which year Sri Lanka got the independence? Third question, why power sharing is desirable? Fourth question, what's meant by check and balance system? The next question, what is meant by coalition government? Thank you all of you. If you know more or any queries, then please write in our comment box. Thank you all of you. Have a nice day ahead.